Hi guys, today I want to do my very first writing fiction 101 video. So basically I wanted to create a video series whenever I can, make a video about my novel writing process to give you guys a glimpse about what I've been doing for the past 6 or so months since October. So if you didn't know already, I am currently planning to write my own novel, and it's been quite depends on how long you think it is, but to me it's not that long. But some people, they can write novels within a month, but that's seriously not the case for me, because I am actually planning to write my own novel series. So there's a lot to think about with my novel, a lot to think about: the world building, the plot for each book. Yeah, I'm being serious. Like, this is not just going to be like a trilogy. I'm actually planning to write 6 books in this particular novel series. So I'm planning to write a fantasy adventure novel, and I had to do a lot of research about novel writing because I did English language and literature A-level, but that's not enough to like understand creative writing. You really do need to read a lot, which I have been trying to do. I've been at least reading 1 book per month, at least sort of 1 book per month, just to get an idea of how the prose is like in other books, and also researching outlining methods. So before I decided to write my own novel, before I started planning to write my own novel in October, the actual idea came in October. But then again, it actually it's a very complicated thing, because I actually came up with my novel idea when I was 15 years old. I'm 21 now. So that's 6 years ago when I actually came up with the initial premise of the idea. But I was 15 at that time, and I just gave up. I tried to write the first few chapters back then, but they were so crap. And oh man, just thinking about it, it was so cringy how I made it so similar to the first few chapters of Harry Potter or something. Anyway, so if I had to like compare my novel series to something else, I think fans of Avatar, Harry Potter and X-Men would enjoy my novel. I can definitely see people making comparisons of it seeming like Avatar, Harry Potter like, X-Men like, and having Lord of the Rings type of themes as well. So that's all I'm going to say. I'm not totally ready yet to tell you guys what it's about. I have told my Patreons what my novel is about, so they know, but because they have early access to all the novel information without spoilers, but I'm not entirely ready yet to tell you guys the actual premise yet. But I'm planning to tell you guys when I actually ask you guys for beta readers. So what I've been doing since October is I've been not only researching on outlining methods. So basically, before you start writing a novel, I don't know if I should say most authors or some authors. I'll say some authors, since some people might get triggered. So some authors, they actually plan the whole plot and characters before they actually start writing the first draft of the novel. So with outlining methods, you can make a chart of like what each chapter is going to have. So personally, I've researched like so many outlining methods to like figure out which one is most suitable for the type of person I am. I am more of a planner compared to someone who just wants to just write it and see where the story goes. So there's this term where you are either a pantser, or a plotter. I'm more of a plotter. I won't be able to write my novel if I can't plan it first, because I just don't know what to put on the Word document if I was to not plan at all. And I want to see where my plot is actually going, so I don't make any mistakes and have to constantly re-edit and revise it because I didn't plan it beforehand. So I've decided to use a scene by scene outline, and this is the, just giving you a glimpse. I'll actually explain my outlining method in another video, but at the moment I'm actually creating my own plot board. And a plot board is basically literally a visual representation, a visual board of my novel. So I've been using colourful post-it notes. So I've been using colourful post-it notes, and if you do have my Instagram, I did show you a picture. I'll actually show you a video now of it without showing the actual information on the notes, obviously. So basically I've split it into Act 1, Act 2 and Act 3, and that's for every novel. Every novel is split into 3 acts. I mean, surely you guys would have learnt basic story structure in school, where plays and stories are split up into 3 acts, and I had to do a lot of research about what each act has to have. And I also bought books. So this is the outlining method, first of all. So it's scene by scene. So basically each scene has a goal to it, a character trying to look for something or has a goal. So it could be anything, and then a conflict happens that prevents the character from achieving that goal. So that's what I've been learning. It's a theory by Dwight Swain, but I'll explain my actual outlining method in a different video. So if you're interested, then do watch whenever I make that video. So the novel writing guides that I highly recommend are Understanding Show Don't Tell. So you guys probably have heard the term show don't tell. It's been thrown around a lot when it comes to like novel writing, screenplay writing, whatever. So what it means is that you don't tell the reader what the characters are feeling. For example, you show the readers how the characters are feeling. So for example, you won't say that he is angry that his father left him. You'd say instead that he gritted his teeth and clenched his fists after seeing his father after a long time, or something like that. I'm trying to think of an example from the top of my head, so forgive me. Anyway, so this is a really good book. It's very short, but it's been so mind-blowing reading this, because there are certain sentences actually in this that I thought wouldn't be counted as telling, but it's actually telling, and I'm just like, wow. It's very deep. So I'll give another example of like, so for example, an example of telling the reader something is Jane frowned because Sally never let her carry the shotgun. Because the word because was used, you're literally telling the reader why the character is frowning. So instead of using the word because in the sentence, you would just say Jane frowned, Sally never let her carry the shotgun. So just because of using the word because in a sentence, you told the reader, but if you get rid of the because word, you're not really telling the reader, so it's more acceptable. It's so like, I'm learning so much from these books. So back in October, I was not only reading that, but I was also reading Planning Your Novel. Basically all 3 of these books are by Janice Hardy, so I'll put the links in the description to all these books. I think they're really helpful. So Planning Your Novel is basically a book that gives you prompt questions to help you figure out what your novel is about. So for example, it asks questions like, it makes you think about your character arcs as well as your plot arcs, and makes sure that you balance your plot arcs and your character arcs so one is not dominating the other. Depending on your novel, like, is it more plot driven or character driven? It gives you prompt questions like, where do you want the character to end up? How much does the character need to suffer to achieve this change? Who or what brings about that change? How might the changes be for the worse, etc. Other types of questions are, what type of conflict might prevent your protagonist from succeeding? So it's literally full of questions that you can answer. Obviously you don't have to answer every single question that is like prompting you to think about, but it's helpful to like because it has a lot of different sections to it, different topics that talks about like your point of view style and which one is considered the best based on your type of story, and your protagonist and your antagonist, and making sure that they have opposite opposite motives, but also having some sort of similarity to each other as well as differences. So yeah, I'm still like gonna like refer to this book as well as Show Don't Tell, and also I bought Revising Your Novel, which is by Janice Hardy as well, and I've only just had like a glimpse at it because obviously I'm still like planning my novel. I'm not at the revising stage yet, but I'm sure it's good because it's full of questions as well, and it really makes you think. Like, for example, so basically the Revising Your Novel book, I'm just having a glimpse at it, but it's sort of like it gives you ways to fix certain issues. So if you have like a really unsatisfying ending, it will give you ideas for how to fix that ending and make sure that you're actually answering the question that readers will ask. So for example, will Frodo take the ring to Mount Doom? That's just a prompt question in this book, and the readers expect at least most questions being answered by the end of the novel. Like, don't leave too many blanks or unanswered questions. Obviously my novel is going to be a series, so obviously not every single question is going to be answered, but the goal has to be achieved or not achieved, but then there has to be an explanation to that. So yeah, I totally recommend these, and also the outlining methods. Like, every author is obliged to do whatever they want. Personally, I'm a plotter, so I've been plotting for so long. I haven't started on first drafts yet because I really want to know where this novel is going. That's why I'm making the plot board that you guys have seen. So yeah, that's all I have to say. So stay tuned for more.